So we started as a small collective of executives, academics, and creatives that started getting together downtown Chicago last year. So about 20, 30 of us, we get together to talk about what is happening with the future. A lot of us work in tech, where things change weekly, and as you know. So we started what was the Chicago Future Slide, and that is who's hosting this event today that Anna's going to talk about. My name's Mike Heisey. My full-time job, I'm the VP of the App Strategy and Product Development at CGI. We are a 100,000 person global consulting firm, and my team specializes in implementing AI for major corporations across the US. On the side, me and Mike Marshall started Chicago Future Sled almost a year ago. And our mission was to promote futures literacy and build a future vision for Chicago, which Anna is going to talk about. So what's the spectacle, and why did we name it that? There's a famous image that I don't have on the board. I do have in my shirt, though. 1952, a photographer for Life magazine takes a picture of the first 3D movie at the Paramount Theater. And you just see everyone with glasses on watching this in awe, just dead staring at the screen. And that image was used by G. Debord in his book in the 60s, Society of the Spectacle. And he led the Situationist movement, and it was really, what it did was it kind of idolized the vision of everyone just kind of staring and watching things happen. And I feel, and we see a lot of that in our day-to-day. I work in AI all over the place, and we see people like, AI is just going to take my job, or this is going to be different, and a lot of people just kind of accept the future. And our standpoint is more than, we are going to help write the future. So we're going to start off with a Futurism Manifesto. So there's going to be an interactive part of this. We're going to share a mural board with all of you. And throughout that, there is the opportunity for you to chime in and tell us what you want the future of Chicago to look like. What do you think the future looks like for your role, your industry, things like that. Everything that we do today is interactive, so please be prepared to be involved. We're going to share the mural link in a little bit through the conference chat. So if you're on Luma, log into your Luma account, it'll be through that. We'll also email out the board. I want to thank my sponsors. So as I said, I work in artificial intelligence technology daily, and two of my favorite tools are Mural, who's here, and 11 Labs, which they have some stuff that they're going to show later that will just blow your mind. Mural, to me, I got into it during, I think it was 2020. Funny enough, I was working in this building on the 11th floor, and we were told to go home because consultants travel too much, and we contract diseases easier than everybody else, so we had to get out of the building. So it's all right, went home, but my whole career at that point was I'm running workshops, I'm getting corporate leaders together. How am I going to do my job without being in person? And that's when I was turned on to Mural, and I was able to facilitate creative conversations, things like that. Me and Michael put our South by Southwest pitch together on a mural board. That was our kind of creative landing page. We put it together, we pitched, we got on South by Southwest. That's why we're here. I met Matt at South by Southwest, and I was like, oh, you're from Chicago too? And I'm like, oh, we should take all this cool stuff that we did in Austin back to Chicago and do it here. So that's how this event started. The one thing, there's a couple ways that you can support us today. We've been doing this kind of off the radar for the last year. Friends of friends coming together. We feel like we've validated. We sold out South by Southwest. Our materials are now in 3 different languages. We had a team that went back to Japan. It's like, Chicago Future Sled, we love it. We translate all your stuff into Japanese. We're like, yeah, go for it, cool. We have a group of 30 Brazilian executives that want to come to Chicago and tour Chicago because Michael and I kind of portrayed the creativity and entrepreneurism that happens in Chicago. So we felt like that was enough to say, all right, we got something here. Let's go home with it. Let's bring it out. Want to do a couple things today. First is we have a draft of a mini manifesto. You can think of a manifesto like our bylaws or our mission. We want you to help build that mission for us. What does this slide do? What do we stand for? We've gotten a lot of feedback already, and we've incorporated it, but we kind of want to go to that next level as we continue to expand the slide. So here we go. So this room is not an audience. You did not come here to watch. We have break the routine path of thinking by using provocations. Those cards that you have, we don't call those games, they're applications. They are meant to help you think differently, about the future. So, futurism, as we intend it, is not a discipline or a methodology. It's not a conference track, it's not a consulting practice, it's not a walled garden or a country club. It's none of these. It's deliberate, it's experimental, and it's collaborative. It is a civic act. It's not a brand, it's not a feed, it's not a panel. We practice it. It's in contested territory, and it's emergent and emerging. So Chicago is the city that built the grid that organized the continent. Chicago is the city that split the atom under a football stadium. We've produced the architecture, the sociology, the urban theory, the economic thought that the rest of the world adopted and we're very proud of. If you think about the industries that we have here, we have aerospace, life sciences, quantum research, manufacturing, food and healthcare, leading in these. These are industries of consequence. It's not just software. It's a city of the real, doing the real work that produces real futures that other places only present on stages. Chicago is the spirit of our futurism. It's a state of mind, a framework, and a collective noun. On May 14th, we're here to breathe some life into new ideas in our future. So it's not a conference, this isn't a panel, this is not a networking event. It's a room where questions are live, thinking's collective, and the future is treated as what it actually is, unwritten, available, and ours to contest. So take the glasses off, and welcome to the spectacle. Thank you. So now I welcome Anna to the stage, and she's going to tell you more about the Chicago Future Salon.
Testing. Hello, everyone. AI is moving fast enough that standing still is no longer an option. Everyone in this room understands that. You're here because you're not willing to wait for the future to happen to you. You're here because you're willing to help shape it. And so am I. Hi, my name is Anna Mulcahy, Secretary on the Board of Directors for the Chicago Future Salon. I work in IT consulting at CGI, and I'm a member of CGI's Enterprise AI Adoption Team, where I focus on how people adapt to technological change through the lens of organizational psychology and change management. The conversations happening in rooms like this one about AI, about the future of work, about what Chicago looks like 20 years from now, those conversations matter, not just for the people in this room. Information about the future should not be held by few. There's a place for everyone in this conversation. The Chicago Future Salon is modeled on one of the salons of 19th century Paris. Intimate gatherings where academics, artists, and civic leaders gathered to challenge each other's thinking and assumptions. No hierarchy, just big ideas in a small room. One of the tools we use in the salon is a card deck called Enlon 2100. You each have a card from this specific deck. So the story behind this is in 1899, a group of French artists imagined what the year 2000 would look like. They got some things remarkably right, from video communication to machine-assisted farming. And they got other things spectacularly wrong, from personal wings, seaports transportation, and the assumption that Victorian fashion would last forever. These cards don't predict, they provoke. And in a world moving as fast as ours is, that kind of provocation is invaluable. One of my favorite moments of the salon thus far was when we gathered at IDEO to envision what Chicago could look like in the year 2040. Executives, educators, and people from all different backgrounds gathered to work through the same questions together. That's what the salon does at its best. But here's what I've come to believe. This kind of thinking doesn't only belong in a room like that one. After regularly attending salon meetings, I was invited to talk to the business school at Marist High School, the business club, sorry, not the school, on the south side, to talk about what I know now that I would tell my high school self. I brought the Enlon cards because thinking seriously about the future felt like just exactly the right thing to share with a room full of people just starting theirs. These were high school students with no strategic foresight background. But when we passed out those cards and started talking about what people in 1899 imagined for the future, and then turned it around to ask them what we might be getting wrong today, something shifted in that room. I heard afterward they were more engaged than they had been with the previous speaker. That moment confirmed something that I've been feeling since my very first salon. The instinct to think about the future, to wrestle with ambiguity, to imagine something better, is not exclusive to senior leaders. It's deeply human. We just don't give enough people access to the tools and language to do it. When every organization has access to the same AI tools, differentiation won't come from the technology itself. It will come from how leaders think, how they approach uncertainty, and how they challenge their own assumptions. Strategic foresight is no longer a luxury. It is the advantage. The Chicago Future Salon is intimate by design, and that intimacy is one of the things that makes it powerful. But events like tonight, the spectacle, exist because we believe the circle needs to be wider. The decisions being made in rooms like this one will be lived with by people who aren't here yet. And we all have the opportunity to inspire and shape the future, not just inherit it. So tonight, I'd love to ask something of you. If what you hear resonates, stay in the conversation. Join the salon list. You can visit Katie and I'm up there. Get you set up. Come to a meeting. Donate to help us continue building spaces like this one. And if you'd like to bring this kind of thinking to your communities, the Enlon 2100 card deck and other publications are available at chicagofuturesalon.com. Bring them to your next meeting, classroom, dinner with friends. See what happens when you invite the people around you to seriously consider what we might be getting wrong right now. Because the future isn't built by people who think they have answers to all the questions. It's built by people willing to ask better questions together. Thank you.